Most people who want to make Hijrah fail before they even start because they don't know how to make money remotely. I've cracked the code and today I'm going to show you exactly how to do it step by step. So stick with me. So if you want to make money remotely for Hijrah, there are 3 main methods in which you can do that. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how. I'm going to walk you through it step by step and help you tackle the problems you're probably facing. Once you understand the methods, I guarantee your chances of making Hijrah will dramatically increase. Are you excited as I am? I hope so. By the way, guys, my name is Abdullah and I made Hijrah to Morocco over 2 years ago now. It's been absolutely amazing. And I also offer a service to help people like you come and make Hijrah in Morocco. So if you are interested, please check the link in the description for more information. And we can set up a meeting so you can know a little bit more about my services. My entire income comes from online work. I built it by myself, step by step. And today, I'm going to show you how you can do the same thing. Let me be real with you. If you want to make Hijrah, you're going to need a stable source of income, most likely going to come from some kind of online or remote work. You can't show up somewhere and wish money magically appears from the sky. Here's the thing, I've seen some brothers make some silly mistakes, and I don't want you to make those same mistakes. I've spent literally thousands of hours trying to figure this out by myself. Hours and hours failing, tweaking, adjusting, revisiting, sometimes even starting from scratch. And that's exactly what I want to save you from. So before we start, I want you to understand roughly how much you're going to need. Let's talk about Morocco. You're going to need about $1,000 minimum per month to $2,000 to be on the safe side. That covers rent, transportation, food, sometimes schools. And it will give you a little breathing room so you don't need to worry too much about money, because the last thing you want is the constant stress and financial stress in a foreign country, thinking about how you're going to pay your next bill. I want to share a quick story with you about somebody I know personally. Let's call him Ahmed for the sake of this video. So he decided to move with his family to Malaysia. He went with no job, no business, no remote work, no nothing, in the hopes of finding something while he was there. He said, we'll figure it out there. It'll be no problem. Big mistake. Reality hit hard, jobs were scarce, and he came home, unfortunately, disappointed. It was harder than he thought it would be. 3 months later, he had to come home feeling defeated, frustrated, and super stressed. The lesson here is simple. Do not rely on luck or hope. Don't think you can just show up and Hijrah will be a breeze. No plan, no money, no nothing. So how can you avoid the mistakes Ahmed made? Okay, so the 3 methods of making a living for Hijrah have 3 things in common. They are all stable, sustainable, and give you the freedom to work from anywhere. If it's Morocco or Malaysia, it doesn't really matter. So the first method, and in my opinion, one of the easiest, is to simply look at your own industry. That's right, figure out where your skills already fit. And you can go after a remote job that suits your industry, your skills, and simply apply and get the job. It seems simple, and you probably think, well, Abdullah, I already know that. What kind of value are you giving me? Bear with me, and you'll see where the value is. Before I give you those golden nuggets, I just want you to think about it. Why would you go through struggle and heartache and heartbreak and problems when you already have a skill set? Say you're in finance, for example. Are you just going to sit down and hope a job magically lands in your lap? Or are you going to go to another industry that's not relevant? Of course not. You've got bills to pay, and you may even have a family relying on you. Here's one golden piece of advice. Don't just apply, make it a ritual. Apply to at least 10 positions per day. Why? Because it's a numbers game. The more you try, the faster you will land something, inshallah. But wait, before you click away from this video, there's a twist. And this is a secret many of you won't know and hardly anyone speaks about when it comes to applying for jobs. The thing is, you won't necessarily need to spend time every day applying to those 10 remote jobs. What if I told you there was a way to reach out to about 70 hiring managers per day with 0 minutes of your time? Sounds impossible, right? Abdullah, you're lying. No, I'm not. And I'm going to tell you why not. The secret here is something called automation. With a simple setup, you can contact literally hundreds, if not thousands, of hiring managers per month with a simple setup. Personalized messages, follow-ups. And the best part is you only need to do the work once. And once it's set up, it's an automatic automation, just like the river, Nile. The system basically does the work for you. And just so you know, I've used the exact same software myself to find clients, and it works like a charm. So I'm not recommending something I've never used. I've actually used it and I've successfully got clients from this method. There's no reason you cannot apply it for finding jobs. It's the same strategy, same automation. You're just applying it to your use case, which is finding a remote job to make Hijrah. If you actually want a free 7-day trial where you can try this software for free, just put a comment in the comment box and say, send me the software, please. And I'll send you the link where you can try it risk-free for 7 days, test it out and see if it's something you think you can use. And remember, it's a numbers game. The more doors you knock on, the more chances you have of landing that dream remote job so you can fly off, maybe by yourself or with your family for Hijrah. Polish your CV until it shines. Look for jobs that AI cannot replace. Future-proof your Hijrah. And that's the thing. Finding a good job before you leave doesn't just give you money, it gives you peace of mind. Imagine earning a salary of $4,000 to $5,000 in a place where you only need $1,000 per month or $2,000 and no constant worrying about paying rent or groceries or bills. Just peace, alhamdulillah. It's not magic, it's strategy. And if you apply this automation strategy, you'll be ahead of 90% of people who are making Hijrah. You'll have less headache and you'll increase your chances. So if you truly want to make Hijrah and you want to go through the first method route of getting a remote job, you have to do this. You really do. Now, if you're looking for something a bit different, the second method is also a super simple method where you can make Hijrah even if you don't have any skills. This only applies to you if you are a native English speaker. So if you're not, you might want to skip to the third method. And what is it? It is teaching English online. And honestly, this is a goldmine. But let me be clear with you, just because it's a goldmine, it doesn't mean it's easy. And I hear what you're saying, Abdullah, I'm not an English teacher. Relax, I know you're not. But the reality is, teaching English is how thousands of people make a living remotely, travel the world, and have that freedom that you so desire. Now, it's not easy, but it's not as difficult as you think either. You don't need to be Shakespeare. You just need to be a native teacher in most cases. Well, here's a little bit about my story. Now you guys can understand how I'm making a living here in Morocco. So I started my remote teaching journey roughly 3 to 4 years ago. Before that, I was an English teacher in Japan for over 11 years. I loved my job. I loved the benefits. The salary was not bad and I enjoyed everything. But there was one thing missing. I wanted freedom and I wanted to make Hijrah. So I decided I'm going to start my own English teaching company. And at first it was a total flop, absolutely brutal. The type of flop where you're like, well, I guess I'm giving up, but I didn't, alhamdulillah. I couldn't get students. My ads barely worked. I felt like I was throwing money, energy and time down the drain. It was like a black hole that just kept swallowing everything. Frustrating, check. Exhausting, double check, and to be honest, quite terrifying. But here's the thing, I didn't give up. I tweaked, I found out what the problems were, and I adjusted. You need to be adaptable if you want to start your own teaching business online or anything of the like. Now, let me tell you the biggest challenges. Honestly, everything. I had to be the teacher, the technician, the web developer, the marketer, and every other thing a business needs, I had to do all at once. Ads worked yesterday and suddenly stopped today, and I had no idea why. Trial, error, trial, another error, just a bunch of learning. And that's the key here. There was a lot of problem solving and I didn't see it as a failure at a certain point. I saw it as a learning opportunity. It's not for the faint-hearted, and I promise you that. And here's another reality check. Teaching English online is a highly saturated market. Everyone wants to teach online, which means if you can't find a way to stand out, you're going to struggle because you're just another face in a very crowded crowd. Just like YouTube. Well, if you're watching this video, I guess the algorithm worked on you. But don't worry, here's the beautiful part of it. Method 2, teaching English, doesn't necessarily have to be your own business. You could work for existing English teaching companies. You won't have to worry about any of the business side of things. No marketing, no nothing. Just focus on teaching. You can work for an established teaching company and live very comfortably here in Morocco or in many other Hijrah destinations. That would be freelancing. So once you get that right, you'll be fine. Now here's something you probably didn't know. You can start building your online teaching schedule before you even leave to make Hijrah. So this is the genius part. Look, what you do is You work your full-time job wherever you may be, England, America, Canada, whatever it is, wherever you are. And you simultaneously pick up an English teaching job and build your schedule. And when your schedule hits between $1,000 to $2,000 a month consistently, you can now take that flight and have less risk on your plate. Simply get your TEFL certification, which is needed in most online teaching companies, and start small and gradually grow. Try to focus on applying to companies or finding your own students. Provide real value. Experiment, learn from your mistake, and scale gradually. And if you want some extra guidance, I've done it all, and I offer a 1-hour consultation. The link is in the description. Like I said, I've been teaching for over 12 years now and built a full online income from this industry, all from scratch. You can ask me about anything, finding clients, setting rate, building a schedule. It's all fair game. So like I said, check out the link in the description. Now, the third method is to monetize your skills. So it's not finding a job in your industry. It's not English teaching. It's looking at your skill set and potentially developing a new skill set. Listen, I'm going to tell you something most people don't realize. You don't need a remote job necessarily. You don't need a visa. You don't need to just fly out and hope everything works out. All you really need is one skill people are willing to pay for. Once you have that, everything becomes a lot easier. For example, I know a brother, let's call him Ibrahim, just for the sake of this video. He does marriage therapy for Muslims. And Allahumma barak, he's doing really well. And the reason is he built a skill and monetized it. He didn't wait for the perfect time. He didn't wait for that magical moment. He simply started. And here's the beautiful thing. You can do this part-time while you're still in your home country. You don't need to jump out of an airplane without a parachute. Build it gradually, reach the $1,000 to $2,000 a month, and pack your bag. And yes, if you have a remote job or you teach online or you monetize a skill, sometimes things can go south. You can lose your job, your business might go down. But the point is, if you're able to keep this $1,000 to $2,000 coming in consistently before you leave, then you're most likely going to be okay. Of course, everything is in Allah's hands. Nobody knows the future. Remember, mistakes are just feedback. Failure is only failure when you quit. So keep going, and I'll see you in Morocco, inshallah. If you're not sure how you can monetize your skill, tell me what your skills are in the comments, and I'll do my best to reply and give you some ideas of maybe how you can monetize your particular skill. And remember, once you get your first client, your first job, your first sign of success, it's a lot easier. You don't feel like you're just wasting your time. And Hijrah is this impossible dream that only the people on YouTube can do. And I'm not the lucky one. It doesn't work that way. Knowledge beats luck every single time. Now, before you go, I'm going to give you 6 tips you must watch and listen to, because this could save you a lot of headache. So if you've watched this much of the video already, if you can't watch the rest, just pause it and watch it later, or just finish it off now. First tip, which is the most important tip and can save you a ton of headaches and heartbreak down the line. And that is, from the 3 methods I gave you, choose only one and focus on it full strength. Now, there's a problem. You might jump from one method to the next, and you'll get nowhere. So pick one, put the pros and cons of each when it comes to you and your circumstances, and pick the one that's most likely to lead you to success. Tip 2 is don't bother looking for a job here in Morocco, especially if it's a local job. Now, if it's an international company, the salaries are way higher. You might be pleasantly surprised, and that's fine. But focus on remote jobs and generating your own income. Tip 3, look at the target city that you want to go to. Let's say it's Tangier, and check the prices and the cost of living. This way you can aim for a realistic amount of money you should be making remotely, because some cities cost more to live in, some less. Tip 4, make sure you have a reliable source of income before you set foot in Morocco. Remember, make sure that income has been consistent for at least 6 months so you know it's a stable source. Tip 5, open international bank accounts such as Wise or Revolut. It will help you transfer your money way easier. It will help you spend here in Morocco instead of withdrawing cash from the cash machine and incurring lots of fees and a bunch of unnecessary expenses. And tip 6, and this is a big one, take at least 6 to 12 months worth of living expenses in cash. Life is unpredictable, so if something does go south, then you won't panic. You have a nice buffer zone where you can work on your business, apply for a new job, or if anything goes wrong, you're good. And here's the key takeaway. Hijrah is not about rushing. It's about moving smart. With preparation, a reliable skill, and some focus, of course, with a reliance on Allah, you're stacking the odds in your favor. You're not gambling, but rather taking calculated risk. Do not overlook your mindset. Hijrah doesn't have to happen today or in the next 6 months or in the next few years. It's okay to start building your skills now and slowly but surely make that move. Don't think about coming to Morocco without a plan, because you're going to sink fast. I don't know the future, but I'm trying to avoid a negative experience. If this video helped you, then please share it with your friends and family who are thinking of making hijrah. And if you have any questions, just put them in the comment box and I'll do my best to get back to you, inshallah. Don't forget to subscribe, because every week I dive into something new here in Morocco, and I would love for you to join me on my journey. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.